Welcome back to Bible and Blues. Sorry, I've been gone. We lost electricity. We lost power. We lost internet. It was we got caught. We're in the Pacific Northwest. We got caught up in that big windstorm that happened last week. Internet only just came back today. I've been hotspotting on my phone, and that has not been strong enough to do this stuff. So, it's given us a little bit. It's given us, our streaming television a little bit. It's given us our some internet. I was able to work, do my job, but I was not able to do this. So I miss you. I miss, and I found a new place, and I think it's really cool. It is an 80s basement. Okay, now I've done that 70s basement in big screen. This is an 80s basement. I think it's done really, really well. We'll take a tour of it later. You can see some of the stuff behind me that's pretty cool. The video game cabinets over here. Obviously the parents of this kid have a lot of money because those were expensive. I see a whole lot of different consoles. I'll show you some of this stuff. There are a couple of places that probably won't go because I've already been there and there's some inappropriate stuff for what we do here. But there is a lot of stuff that is really cool, and we'll check it out later. So today we are doing Acts 18. And without further ado, we're going to jump right into Acts 18. After this, Paul left Athens and went to Corinth. There he met a Jew named Aquila, a native of Pontus, who had recently come from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because Claudius had ordered all Jews leave Rome. Paul went to see them, and because he was a tent maker as they were, that's actually the first I've heard that, he stayed and worked with them. Every Sabbath he reasoned with the synagogue, trying to persuade the Jews and Greeks. I did not know that Paul's actual job was a tent maker. So he must have apprenticed on that before he took on this role of persecuting the Christians. It's interesting. I don't know. When Silas and Timothy came from Macedonia, Paul devoted himself exclusively to preaching. So he left the tent making again, testifying to the Jews that Jesus was the Messiah. But when they opposed Paul and became abusive, he shook out his clothes in protest and said to them, "Your blood be on your own heads. I am innocent of it. From now on, I will go to the Gentiles." He's had it with them. He's been treated poorly by the Jews for the entire time. Every place he's gone, he's been talking in the synagogues, and they constantly, they he's had it. They're constantly, trying to kill him. They had him beaten. They had him flogged. He's done. Okay. Then Paul left the synagogue and went next door to the house of Titus Justus, a worshiper of God. Crispus, the synagogue leader, and his entire household believed in the Lord, and many of the Corinthians who heard Paul believed and were baptized. One night the Lord spoke to Paul in a vision. "Do not be afraid. Keep on speaking. Do not be silent, for I am with you, and no one is going to attack and harm you because I have many people in this city." So Paul stayed in Corinth for a year and a half, teaching them the word of God. So he stuck around a long time, and kept talking. That was a good thing because he was frustrated. He was mad. So while Gallio was proconsul of Achaia, the Jews of Corinth made a united attack on Paul and brought him to the place of judgment. "This man," they charged, "is persuading the people to worship God in ways contrary to law." Just as Paul was about to speak, Gallio said to them, "If you Jews were making a complaint about some misdemeanor or serious crime, it would be reasonable for me to listen to you. But since it involves questions about words and names in your own law, settle the matter yourselves. I will not be a judge of such things." Better than Pontius Pilate did. So he drove them off. Then the crowd there turned to Sosthenes, the synagogue leader, and beat him in front of the proconsul. And Gallio showed no concern whatsoever. So they turned on their own synagogue leader. Wow. And beat him in front of Gallio. And Gallio said, Don't care. This is still your problem, not mine." Paul stayed in Corinth for some time. Then he left the brothers and sisters and sailed for Syria, accompanied by Priscilla and Aquila. Before he sailed, he had his hair cut off at Centuria because of a vow he had taken. They arrived at Ephesus, where Paul left Priscilla and Aquila. He himself went into the synagogue and reasoned with the Jews. When they asked him to spend more time with them, he declined. But as he left, he promised, "I will come back if it is God's will." Then he set sail for Ephesus. When he landed at Caesarea, he went up to Jerusalem and greeted the church, and then went down to Antioch. After spending some time in Antioch, Paul set out from there and traveled from place to place throughout the region of Galatia and Phrygia, strengthening all the disciples. So he went back to many of the places. He traveled place to place, and he's just strengthening his disciples that he had taught previously. Meanwhile, a Jew named Apollos, a native of Alexandria, came to Ephesus. He was a learned man with thorough knowledge of the Scriptures. He had been instructed in the way of the Lord, and he spoke with great fervor and taught about Jesus accurately, though he knew only the baptism of John. Wow. He began to speak boldly in the synagogue. When Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they invited him to their home and explained to him the way of God more adequately. So here's a guy, a Jew named Apollos, and he had come to Ephesus, and he had some knowledge. He had been instructed in the way of the Lord. He spoke with great fervor and taught about Jesus accurately, though he knew only the baptism of John. So all he really knew was this one thing. So he'd been instructed already, in the ways, but not in the history and the things that Jesus had said. But he'd been taught, what Jesus expected and the expectations of the Spirit, which is great. When Apollos wanted to go to Achaia, the brothers and sisters encouraged him and wrote the disciples there to welcome him. When he arrived, he was a great help to those who by grace had believed, for he vigorously refuted his Jewish opponents in public debate, proving from the Scriptures that Jesus was the Messiah. Here ends reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God. That was kind of cool. This guy Apollos was going. Priscilla and Aquila talking. Teaching him. This is really cool stuff. So here ends reading of the Lord. Thanks be to God. We so much appreciate the words that we receive. I am so grateful to have electricity and internet, and I really do hope that this finds you and finds and touches you in some manner, shape, or form. But here we are, and I'm going to, like I said, as promised, I'm going to give you a little tour. Let's turn the camera around. There we go. And we start off. There are this is Queen in the front and on the TV. I haven't turned the volume up on this at all. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to kind of no, because I don't hear any sound. And I just turned my volume all the way up, so I don't hear any sound. They may have had to kill the sound because of copyright reasons, and which is the reason I would be worried about it. But I am, if you take a look here, I am seated. There we go, and I'm actually in a seated position. I've talked about that before, where you can sit in some places when they make it that way to be able to do so. And this place they did. So it was pretty cool. Turn it back around. If you look at the bottom shelf there's a whole lot of VHS tapes and a VHS player in there. Record player. We're going to get up and boop. There we go. And what happened to our camera? What happened to our camera? All I did was stand up. There it is right there. Okay. It was just hiding behind some stuff there. Okay. So, some stuff here. You see all these different consoles down here. I think that's really neat. Those right there. I recognize quite a few of them. And the one on the far right top corner there is the Atari 2600. That was among the first ones I ever played. There's a few others here I recognize, of course, the Nintendo 64, Sega, looks like a Wii down there, and Nintendo Switch. So that modernizes this room quite a bit. Some of the posters they have here, little thing for Ready Player One. It's kind of a thanks for that movie. Weird Science. Here, I'm going to do this way. There's Weird Science right there. They Live is actually one of my favorite movies, actually. Tron, great movie. Return of the Living Dead. Look at look at these games. So the Donkey Kong, the Atari 2600 poster. Yeah, look at that. July 1993. I think that's about right for the vintage of stuff I'm seeing here. Doom. Yep. The Rocky movie was from the it was 80s, early 80s. But some of this stuff is definitely the 90s, like the Doom game, things like that. Down here is you would have your tabletop game for your for your Dungeons and Dragons. Now in VR there's a game called Demio, which is actually a lot of fun. I haven't played in a long time, but it's a lot of fun. You can play it in mixed reality, so it's like in your place. These games here: Pong, Asteroids, Pac-Man, Back to the Future 2. Again, that's another one that dates this one here. Star Wars, Ghostbusters. Then there's another, and this is a person's basement, right? So, little jukebox. Detroit Rock City. Yeah, there's a wall of fame. You can get your picture up here. Look at those Arnie pictures there. Wow, look at that Arnold Schwarzenegger picture. So there's your time right now. It's today's date. It's Monday. 25th. It's about 8:30 at night. I'll probably get this posted up tomorrow, to be honest. So that little TV right there, showing some of the commercials that they had. The Shining, E.T. Some of the stuff they have here is just really cool stuff. And I'm really enjoying this one. I want to check out more of it here. Let me see. We got this is a closet. This one, and then there's another room here. This is the bedroom. We'll go and do the bedroom here. So the bedroom's okay. Again, dating it a bit is fairly well with Jurassic Park. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were not, in the 80s, and they came about really in the 90s. They were around in graphic novel form, in the 80s. Dawn of the Dead is a Bart Simpson reference right there. Gremlins, Jaws, Buckaroo Banzai. Oh my God, I love that movie. Another E.T. Army of Darkness. That's a fun movie. Look at that old CRT TV again, showing the commercials. So what else we have? Yep, it's got the Game Boy down there. Wow. They really went all out on this one. Really, it's amazing how much detail they put in here. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, Duke Nukem. So can I put some cool books up here? Nightmare on Elm Street, and boom, you just sit down. Sit down in a beanbag here. And check things out. There was in the closet. Funny thing in the closet, you will find some paraphernalia. So we're not going to bother with that because we are considered a Christian. We're trying to make it consider ourselves Christian. So this is it. Night of Living. I love that one. Gosh, which one was that? Was that the first one? Yeah, that was the first one. Donkey Kong. Yeah. Oh man. So great stuff in here. Arizona Tea, which that's still sold. What's that? Is that Commodore 64 right there? And then that one's a newer model than that, of course. So the person was running multiple systems here. Like I said, this was whoever owned the place they had some money. So this is the name of the guy that built this world. I think he did a great job. I think he definitely put effort into it. So we can change the world. See if we can change the world here. We're going to toggle it to Christmas. Okay, so we're going to see what Christmas does for us here. Oh, yep, look at that. There's a Christmas tree in the corner. Okay. Yeah, so there's a Christmas tree, stockings hung up there. I wasn't sure what to expect. I haven't, I think that's really neat. They really did a lot here. What's this here? Oh, Martin McFly Jr. arrested for theft. Youth gang denies complicity. Cholesterol make your cancer. That's the way things go. 3 injured when mom rehydrates pizza slices. That's great. The comic book's up here. A 9.8, good quality. So, if I would definitely give this guy a thumbs up here. He definitely worked hard on this one, and he's made it a really cool world. I would encourage in VR chat to come and check this one out because it is really neat. That he did that. Oh my gosh, it has a Joust poster. Joust. I remember this game. Remember Joust? I never see that before. The Joust poster up top there. Yeah, there's just so much to see. You're going to miss it. I guarantee you're going to miss stuff. So, so anyway, well, so thanks a lot for coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me geek out on this room. Kind of goes down memory lane. This is 80s and 90s. It's a lot of the music. I see a Hall Notes album cover and Ozzy Osbourne and Kiss, Detroit Rock City. I remember, oh, geez. Yeah, wow. So cool here. I'll be back. I'll be back with this one. So thanks a lot for coming. Appreciate it. And, God bless. Bye.